In today's podcast, we're going to be joined by Steve Sutherland, Chairman of Dortech Group, and David Hercock, Maintenance Director of Dortech Maintenance Limited. We're going to be looking at the glazing industry and the difference between preventative and planned maintenance, in addition to giving you a bit of an insight into how Dortech Maintenance works.
Good morning, Dave.
Morning, Steve.
Dave, you're known as the reluctant hero in Dortech because you're always doing a lot of great things for a lot of people, but you're pretty camera shy and you don't like to shout about what you do. So today I'm going to take the opportunity to shout about some of the great things you do with maintenance and making sure that you're finding solutions to tricky problems for our customers. I've been with Dortech for nearly 23 years. Most of those 23 years, you and I have worked together in one capacity or another, but we really started working together in about 2010, 2011, when Dortech started to move more into the maintenance line of business. Do you have any abiding memories of those nearly 20 years we worked together?
It actually started before that when I was working for a different company and you used to do all the MFIs, and I remember you turned up on site at 8 o'clock at night while we were trying to finish an MFI, and you come wandering around car park looking for us all, and then unfortunately by the end of the night we broke a piece of glass, so that didn't go down too well, but we got it fixed.
But that wasn't my fault, hopefully.
No. But no, it's started as a subcontractor for Dortech in 2010 or 29, and it's been a progress from there, and then just helping on maintenance more than anything, because site work is just boring and you're on there for a long time, and it's more interesting finding solutions to problems and keeping your brain going.
Well, I remember working with you. I don't actually remember that MFI job, but it's entirely, I'm not going to argue with you. But I do remember working with you on some of the earlier maintenance programs. I remember two in particular. One was Trinity Gardens in Newcastle, and the other was a school in Middlesbrough when we were trying to rescue a situation for other people to make the school operable. And the thing I remember about you in those two particular projects, which has formed a lasting impression, which you have been true to throughout, is your tenacity in finding workable solutions, cost-effective solutions to problems and implementing them quickly. You have a dogged perseverance. I was watching the Josh Warrington podcast recently with James, and I saw many of the characteristics that Josh brought to boxing: perseverance, strength of character, determination, hard work, refusing to give up. Actually, in you.
Yeah, it's one of them things. If somebody's got a problem, I mean, it's like I always say, if people call me, I will always help. And if we can't help, we'll try and find somebody what can help. And it's more, if there is a problem, even if it's an issue on site, we'll always have a plan B. If it doesn't go right on that day, we'll never walk away, and it'll be sorted that day and still made safe. So it's more just having the energy to plan like that. So you're always planning two jobs for one job, because something might go wrong.
But, good way of looking at it.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. And we've never walked away from a problem what we've taken on. We've walked away from jobs what we don't want, but never actually not finished a job because we can't do it once we've got to site.
I can vouch for that. I remember that job in Middlesbrough, and it was in the middle of winter. It was pitch black. It was throwing rain horizontally at us, and we were having to repair all the doors on the school that had been installed by other contractors incorrectly. And it's 10:30 that night, and I remember I was so cold, I was so wet, and I think you and Michael were working on the last door, and I said, I really thought we shouldn't be there. It was too late, too cold, and I said, Dave, come on, let's call it a night. And I remember your words to me. You said, well, you can go if you want to, but Mike and I are going to stay here until we've got this done.
I mean, if somebody's got a problem, they want it fixing. I mean, we used to work way past. We used to be gasketing in front of car headlights and stuff in the dark and stuff, and it's more just get it done and you can go home. It doesn't matter how long it takes. We worked on sites 23 hours in a day once, but if it's not right when you go home, it's just you're leaving a door off or a window out, so you might as well just carry on, forget about rain. You can get warm driving home in van.
Well, I have to say, you have so many characteristics you share with Josh. I'm rather glad you didn't become a boxer, mind you.
This time.
But I also remember a bit lightheartedly where you were working in an apartment block for us in Edinburgh, and the lady there was extremely nice, but they were extremely distraught because they couldn't get their apartments warm and they were freezing in winter. And you and the team did an amazing job for them. And I remember getting the phone call and then the email from us said, "Oh, Santa Dave and his amazing elves, his amazing helpers are bringing warmth to a lot of people, grateful people." And you took a bit of stick for that, I seem to.
Even that job in Edinburgh, I mean, look, to drive from Huddersfield, it's an awful drive. But I think we were there still at 8 o'clock at night and still drove home same night. But everybody were happy. And everybody what we spoke to, I think, apart from one customer, were pleasantly pleased with what we did.
I think that's the nice thing about the maintenance work you do is the vast majority, I mean 99% of, in fact you have a 98% excellent rating, don't you, on the job cards? People mark your performance and it's 98%. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's good to get feedback. It's nobody's chasing us because we're late. We go by our rules, but our rules also help the customer as well. And it works. We're here. I mean, we've been going since 2011. I think it's when maintenance first set up, and we're still going strong. And we still have loyal customers coming back, whether it's universities or schools. We're there every day, and we're at the end of a phone call if they need us.
I mean, I've actually printed out some of the nice things people have actually said. I think you have more than 5,000 successfully completed jobs behind you. That's not bad, is it? And you've got a solid, well-organised and knowledgeable team. A couple of comments that we've got here on Trustpilot and what have you. Thank you so much for today, Dave. You have been great yet again. Huge thanks to Chris also. In simple words, Dortech maintenance is reliable, on time, helpful. Nothing is a problem. Working around others to keep the momentum going. Kendi and Dean are also a credit to Dortech. Just wish to feedback and thank you and the team at Dortech for the recent quality of the work carried out on various external doors at the training centre. The doors are now all operating as they should with a big smiley face. They're a few of many nice compliments. You've obviously built a strong team around you to do that because you'll be working 40 hours a day, probably more, to do that. How do you keep the team motivated?
It's a good question. But I mean, it's like my phone's always on to them. If they've got a problem on site, they can know that they can either message me or phone me straight away, and I'll help them with a solution there and then, so they can get home and see the family and stuff like that. And it's just making sure that job's planned before they even go. I'm in at 5 o'clock in the morning, meeting lads, making sure they know what they're doing, making sure they've not forgot anything. So it's just being there for them, as well as they're helping us get Dortech maintenance out there and providing a brilliant service.
But you place a huge store on training, I know that.
Yeah.
All of them are very well trained. What type of training do you think is most important?
They've all got CSCS, which is industry standard at the moment. But most of them, or more than 50% of them, are all site supervisors as well. Then they've got DBS, asbestos awareness, IPAF, PASMA. So all your normal construction industry ones as well.
Yeah. I think one of the things, one of your sayings that I remember, and I say remember because you still say it, you always say to the team, I'll never ask you to do something I'm not prepared or unable to do myself. Yeah. And I'll never send you on a job or ask you to do something that I know you cannot succeed in.
Yeah.
So you're always putting, it's your own self-reference criteria. You're always saying, if it can be done and I can do it, then it's reasonable
Yeah.
for other
Well,
people to do.
it's
But if I can't do it, we tell everyone we can't
yeah,
do it.
yeah. It's the same principle in selling something. Don't sell something you can't do, which we never do. If I can personally do it myself, I'll help the customer get a quote, and if they proceed with it, we'll finish that job, and our lads know that as well. Sometimes we have tricky situations where something appears whilst we're on site, which is totally different, but that's where your plan B comes in. Always have a backup plan of anything what can go on wrong on that day, and touch wood, so far we've done all right.
I know you work across all sectors, and I typically, you have how many projects going through a month?
Between 60 and 70 a month.
That's quite a lot. And the range of the projects that go through?
It could be anything from servicing a door to full building leaks, or helping a company reduce their EPC by replacing all the glass, and saving their energy over the next few years, upgrading all the glass on the building, which we do as well.
Okay, is there any job that's too small that you...
No, we'll always try to help somebody. They might think his price is too much for that small job, but then it's the knowledge what comes behind that. It's like the old saying, it's a person's skill is measurable, but it's where does he tap the hammer, what makes the money, and where the money is.
Yeah, no, I noticed actually an awful lot of jobs that you're looking at involve products that are obsolete, because a lot of the products that have problems that we're trying to address or find solutions for have either come from abroad and the company is no longer in existence, or they've been made or produced or installed by companies in the UK, but again, certain products are obsolete. And how much time do you think you spend looking for obsolete products? It's quite significant, isn't it?
Probably 50% of everybody's time. With system suppliers, as soon as they make something updated, everything's obsolete. So it's like even buildings what might only be a year old, the parts are still obsolete. So it's sort of, Google is everybody's best friend to try and find parts, but also a good supplier database, or people what you might know what hold some obsolete parts, or even an upgraded alternative what'll work.
I guess that's something that a lot of people don't see, the cost we incur looking at the sourcing parts and finding out the correct ways of repairing things. I believe most of the guys have been trained on most systems. What are the most common systems you work on?
Yeah, most of our guys, I mean, I think the newest guys has probably been with us 3 years, and all up to 9 years, I think, or 10 years. So they've been with Dortech a long time as well. So they know how we work, they know the systems, and they're not just installing windows, they're repairing windows every day. So it's like a new skill already, because you're not just throwing a square window into a square hole and putting some screws in. They're actually working on that window, and they get to know the systems as well. So it's a benefit.
So it's actually hands-on, real-world training as well as practical, going to the systems, the aluminium systems company to learn the systems and doing that. Yeah. We do. I think you could work across every sector that's around in the UK: public, private, educational, commercial.
Yeah. We'll work for anybody what needs help. If it's an aluminium, we do basic UPVC repairs as well. But anything in the aluminium or glass industry will help repair.
I think if I was just looking at just recently in this last week, we've been back at work after Christmas break. I think we've had about 9 inquiries for us help with schools. So schools, I think, require a lot of support, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked at schools where the lovely children are kicking the doors, ripping the handles off, and then they come. Some schools, if it's a door what we've actually installed, they're saying, well, this is not for purpose. But when you look at the CCTV, you can clearly see feet are kicking it. But we see it day in, day out, and unfortunately, it's schools are such high use the doors are getting opened maybe 2,000 times a day.
Wow.
So they need to maintain it. And if they don't maintain it, then obviously the unfortunate happens and it falls off and hits the child, which we've heard, and we've been on site within a couple of hours before.
No, I remember that.
Yeah.
I think schools are getting better at engaging preventative maintenance and surveys and research, aren't they?
There's more interest from schools now, wanting to service the doors and windows, because it's a children's environment, which is high risk already. So if anything happens, if a window falls out or a door falls off, it's already a problem, because not only you're hurting the child, you've got your parents and everything like that, and it's a huge health and safety risk. So more should be done still. We do have schools what come to us every year for inspections and all their service and repairs, and they've been with us probably 10 years.
Yes. With respect to doors, is there anything that people should be looking at? Any little tip you can give them to?
It's just gaps around your door. If you can see daylight through your door, I mean, if you imagine a house door, when it's closed, you don't feel any drafts or you can't see outside. It's the same on a commercial door. If you can see gaps around it, something's wrong. It's not as it was when it was new. So does it need adjusting? Does it need servicing? I mean, it might even cost nothing, but it's more safety. That the first thing you can see is there's a gap.
That's good to know. And I frequently hear you talk to people and say, look, just phone me. I'm not going to charge you for a phone call. Phone me, and if I can help you free of charge on the phone, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Do you get many requests for that?
We do get a few. I mean, we still have clients what's been with us 10 years, and I'll still gladly drive to the site and I'll say, look, your caretaker can do that. I'm not even interested, and I'll explain how the caretaker can do it for free. I mean, it's not just about little jobs. It's more about customer care and service and being there for anybody what needs help.
Well, you certainly got. I read a few more of the compliments we've received on the various sites. I've just been to take a look at myself at the completed project, and it looks great. Dave, really appreciate all your help with this. Thank you for being super helpful and responsive as always. Dortech's management is first class and the quality of their workmanship is superb. We work with Dortech over at McDonald's HQ, and they're a great subcontractor and more than just reliable. They bring skill, dedication and pride to every task, delivering a high quality workmanship. Dortech are a pleasure to deal with, and on one particular project they stood out as the contractor of the project by a far margin. Dortech consistently demonstrate accountability and a strong commitment, just like Josh Warrington again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. How do those comments make you feel?
Inside they make me feel good, but it's what we do day in, day out. It's what I'd expect, because this is the level of service what we're doing and the planning behind it. If it's a big job, there's a lot of planning. Myself, the team, people in the office, all do before we even get to site, to make it easier for our lads, myself, when I go to site meetings or management meetings or anything like that. So it's not just me, it's the whole team. And it works.
And your records, your archives are massive, aren't they? I know it's all online now, but the records of jobs that we keep, it makes it easier to go back and help people and record things. There was another one I wanted to read out, which I thought was really amazing. I just submitted a review to Trustpilot, this reviewer says, which was written from the heart. Don't get that very often in the construction industry. I cannot tell you the relief I now feel that my front door is working so well. The job and the cost have definitely been worth it, every single penny. I've recommended Dortech to my architect friends, and I'm so glad of the opportunity to express my thoughts and feelings. Wow.
But that's down to the team. I think that one job, we never even surveyed it. We did it all from photos, but the lads that went just stuck at it and got it all sorted.
So perseverance, determination, hard work, knowledge, skill.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, should have been a boxer.
Yeah,
What advice can you give others in terms of maintaining the energy that you clearly have? I mean, you're here normally at 5 every morning. You're always on the phone or available on the weekends. I know that for a fact. How do you maintain and you've got a young family. How do you maintain these energy levels? That's pretty amazing.
carefully. I don't know. I enjoy it. It's a different job every day. Yes, there is times you think, not another day, but it doesn't matter where you work. That's going to happen.
You work all around the UK, really, don't you? Maybe try and keep things very much within sort of a very quick response time and sort of north of Milton Keynes and south of Scotland. But you do work in Scotland, you do work in London, you do work further afield as well.
Yeah, we do Milton Keynes to Newcastle comfortably. Anything.
Well, you've just opened, or fairly recently opened, 2 offices, haven't you? One in
Liverpool, one in Leicester. They're only satellite offices, but they've got a manager in each office, and it just gives us a quicker response time to surveys and if there's an emergency in them areas as well.
Does that put a lot more burden on you? Can you see it growing even further, or is this a nice place to be?
I think at the moment this is a nice place to be because we've got a good reaction time. I mean, all our lads are Huddersfield based or Leeds based, so everything comes from Huddersfield, but we can get there in a couple of hours for any surveys or emergencies what are needed.
A lot of the inquiries that come in, I notice, are door inquiries. Not surprisingly, the company is Dortech, so by association, I guess that's correct. But it's not all doors you deal with, is it? What's the full range of? What are the projects you deal most with? Or asked to look at most?
Roof leaks is a big one at the moment, especially with all this weather. But aluminium doors, windows, curtain wall leaks, curtain wall servicing, anything in the architectural aluminium system, we'll look at, and we have accounts with 99% of all system suppliers in the UK and their technical backing. So it puts us also in a better place because you can rely on the system houses to give you technical support as well.
There's been an uptick in glass replacement, primarily, I think, as the phenomenon of spontaneous breakage caused by nickel sulfide inclusions in glass. Do you see any let-up in demand for replacing NSI breakages?
It seems to have slowed down a little bit in the last sort of 6 months, but we're still seeing it on a daily basis that an inclusion will happen in a piece of glass. And then all of a sudden it's a health and safety risk because if it's an outer pane, will it fall out? So people are getting in touch with us, 1, to make it safe, and then 2, to replace it when the new glass is ready. So it's still quite high up on us enquiries.
And a nickel sulfide or an inclusion, a spontaneous breakage can occur fairly quickly after installation, or is it?
They're saying it's, well, the last time I read it, it's anything up to 7 years after it's been installed, but we've seen it after 10, 11 years. So there's no real, there is no test to see if it will happen. We've even been asked that. You know, we've got a building, we've had 15 pieces of glass break. I need all the rest of the glass checking, but it's impossible to check. It's basically just
Reactive.
Yeah, hopefully it won't happen, but if it does,
I suspect that the changing climate, you know, the extremes in heat and cold and humidity may actually extend the issue with nickel sulfide inclusion to 20 years or more. I have a fear of that. I also have a fear about structural glazing, where a lot of the outer panes of glass are just adhered to the structure or the inner piece of glass by silicon seals. Is that something that worries you, structural glazing?
We've seen a couple. Luckily, they fell onto a balcony. But that at a university, what we frequently go to. And obviously, there were the Beetham Tower in Manchester, where even if you look on Google Street View, that's all stitch plated in now from the last update, what on Google. So it's going to happen because silicon only has a certain lifespan.
So you're going to be pretty busy
Yeah.
going forward. There's lots to talk about, Dave, and specifically we can perhaps come back at another time. If I can steal you again, I'll probably take another 3 months to get you sitting down, and we could talk specifically about some of the technical issues that you deal with on site and your way of going about it. But in the meantime, can I thank you for what you do? I know you enjoy it. I know it's strange. It's strange in our industry where you're dealing on big commercial projects where everyone's on a tight time frame and they're stressed on the job. From what I can see with maintenance, people say thank you. People are not frightened of thanking you for what the work you do. And people also listen to you when you explain that there are probably more than one cause of the problem that you're dealing with, and not just, it might be manifesting itself a leak in one area, but it might be coming from 2 or 3 different locations. So I can see why you like it, and I thank you for what you do. I think lots of people would thank you for taking the phone call and just helping them and reassuring them, and for the team to react so quickly in solving the problems. So a big thank you. And I'm pleased you didn't become a boxer, but I can see that many of your characteristics align with Josh Warrington.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Well, thank you for listening to this podcast. It's amazing for me to sit down and talk to Dave. We have a shared history of solving problems and making sure that people are in buildings that are secure, safe, and habitable. And I'm very grateful for the work and added value that Dave brings to Dortech. We will do more podcasts in the future where we'll be looking at more some of the technical elements of what we do on maintenance and the things that you can do to perhaps avoid costly repairs and issues that you may have in the future. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
So I hope you enjoyed today's podcast with Steve Sutherland and David Hercock from Dortech Group. Remember, if you like what you saw, to hit the like button and subscribe, and leave any feedback in the comments. Thank you for watching.